Hello everyone and welcome back to the New York Empoleon's semi-final battle of the GBA. We are here this week taking on the Uzi Gunner coach of the Bullet Punch Club and the #1 overall seed in the regular season. But you know what they say about the regular season in the playoffs. Everything resets back to 0 once you make it to the dance. And we are here in the final 4 now. My opponent's team is absolutely horrifying. It's going to pop up on screen for y'all in a second. But just in case you're, listening to this and not actually watching the battle or anything, the team is Gholdengo, Dragonite, Avalugg, Uxie, Clodsire, Azumarill, Meowscarada, Galarian Zapdos, Lycanroc Dusk, Hisuian Braviary, and Pyroar. And Dragonite is the only Terra Captain in Normal and Flying. This team had incredible success throughout the season, but it all comes down to one game, and anything can happen in one game. Here's my team. We did not do a team builder this week specifically, but we'll just go through it very quickly. We've got Synchronize, obviously, on the Mew. It's holding a Culver Berry so it can stay in against Meowscarada and take a knockoff if need be. Thunder Wave it would be so nice. Thunder Wave the Galarian Zapdos, Thunder Wave the Meowscarada, etc. I can also scout for some Scarves on things like Gholdengo with the speed that I have, which is just max speed. And otherwise, I'm setting up spikes with this thing. This thing is designed to just set spikes and be obnoxious. Ice Beam is the mono coverage move for Galarian Zapdos, Dragonite, Braviary. Just solid coverage. Meowscarada if it tries to switch in on the Mew. And Taunt is really good if the Uxie leads or the Clodsire leads to just shut those down from going for Toxic or spikes of their own. Next up is Greninja. This is a Battle Bond Greninja, but it is not a sweeper. It is a breaker through and through. Gunk Shot for the Azumarill. Ice Beam for the Dragonite, Stabs for everything else. This thing is really designed to come in somewhat early in the match and put dents in my opponent's team that the rest of my mons can take advantage of, as opposed to coming at the end of the game and win it. Though if it does come at the end of the game and win it, I'm not going to complain. It's just not what it's designed for. Next up is the Zapdos. Zapdos is going to be Boots this week with Static. It's going to be a mixed defensive Mon with Hurricane, Discharge, Thunder Wave, and Roost. We have a strategy here. Speed is very important in this matchup, and having speed control is incredibly vital to my team's success. Multiple Mons with Thunder Wave and then actually spamming Discharge just help me get there. Obviously, the Clodsire can come in on this. I don't have momentum on this Mon, but I have switch-ins for Clodsire, so I'm not as worried about being able to switch in on the turn that it comes in. I do have to figure out if it's unaware for the Battle Bond Greninja or Water Absorb. That will help me throughout the match. Next up is Terra Water Leafeon. It's one of the reasons that knowing whether Clodsire is unaware of Water Absorb will be helpful. It is Mirror Herb, Terra Blast, Terra Water, Bite, Trailblaze, and Body Slam. Bite is there for Gholdengo. We'll see if that comes into play. Also hits the Braviary as hard as I can. Otherwise, Terra Blast does hit Gholdengo equally hard as Bite once I Terra Water, but if I choose not to Terra Water, I need a hit on it. Trailblaze is super nice for speed control as well as hitting the Azu. Leaf Blade was hard to fit since the only Mon that it's really for is Azu, and I just couldn't really justify it. Instead, I went it with the Body Slam because it hits Dragonite without it Terra-ing. And if it tries to set up a Dragon Dance, I Body Slam, I Para, I get the Mirror Herb to pop. Now I'm at +1. It just handed that to me. If it Terras, Terra Blast is really scary for it. If it doesn't, Body Slam, even if it doesn't, like whatever it does, Body Slam is still just neutral coverage, which is helpful for the Dragonite this matchup. And next up is the Garchomp with Light Ball Fling. Oh, we have a strategy, everybody. It is to get everything paralyzed as much as possible. Light Ball Fling, Stealth Rock Crunch, Earthquake, and we're just going to see what we can fling it into. That is a way to paralyze Gholdengo. It is a way to paralyze Dragonite. It's a way to paralyze Clodsire. So we'll see what happens. Stealth Rock is really nice just because hazards are really, really good, and Braviary is their only removal, and they haven't run Defog Braviary once this entire season. And lastly is Ceruledge, my MVP all season long so far. 2 more battles for it to be the MVP of if it wants the chance to do so. It is Terra Ghost this week just to get rid of the fire typing so it's not weak to like Clodsire going for Earthquake if that situation does arise. And staying immune to Thunderous Kick from the Zapdos, Bitter Blade, Shadow Sneak, Poison Jab, and Taunt. Taunt for things like Clodsire. Very useful. That's it. That's the team. We're going to jump into this, and I will see you all back here in a minute as we get that battle started. All right, everyone, welcome back. We're here taking on Uzi. I did not get to battle Uzi last time. That last battle was kind of insanity to me. Lycanroc Dusk, Meowscarada, Clodsire. Yeah, this is not unexpected at all. No Azu is really nice, though. And no Gholdengo is actually kind of interesting. So this does give me the opportunity to But we do see the Hisuian Braviary, which actually is his only form of removal, and while he hasn't brought Defog yet this season, he's a good enough battler to bring it now. Of course. So Clodsire could lead, Yuxi could lead, but I'm going to lead with Mew. I had a plan to set hazards, that's still the plan. Even seeing the Braviary, it is still absolutely the plan. Because if he's going to run Defog for the first time this season, gotta prove it, you know? I gotta see it. And if not, spikes are so good here. Oh my god, spikes are amazing if that happens. If he doesn't bring it. That said, even if he does bring Braviary, I'm not sure what it's doing to Mew. He just reads it. So I could just Thunder Wave, as opposed to set spikes on turn 1. I'm going to do that. I'm going to Thunder Wave here. Ice Beam will be good at some point for this, but we're just going to go for the Thunder Wave right off the bat. Scout out items, scout out what it's going to try to do. Maybe U-turn, maybe Esper Wing, maybe just get fully paralyzed. Hurricane, which just misses cleanly, which is fine by me. I'm going to start setting spikes from here. Hurricane's doing, it's like a 3-hit KO or so. And if we see Defog, we see Defog. I'll let him show it for the first time. I'm not going to taunt straight off. Just going to set the 1 layer, and now I want to see if he goes for a Defog or not, so I think I actually kind of want to Ice Beam. And just go for damage here. And if he goes for the Defog, then I didn't waste a turn taunting or going for another layer of spikes. So we're just going to go for the Ice Beam. And there is the Defog. Alright, so he does have it. That's why I didn't want to set up any more spikes. I could have taunted, but I just think it's better to see it and know more about the moveset than it is to get another layer of spikes, or the layer of spikes down. I'm going to set up another layer of spikes here, though, since he has to try to attack me to actually get any damage off, and I can taunt at any point to keep spikes on the battlefield. We see the Hurricane is going to come out. It is going to land this time, and it's going to... What? Excuse me? What item is this? That's crazy damage. That's insane. What the heck? Hold on. Is this Sheer Force? Must be like Sheer Force Life Orb boosted. With that in mind, I'm just going to Ice Beam. If it goes for... It either has to defog or kill me, and now I can Ice Beam and put it in range of another Ice Beam. If it defogs, that is what it is. If it's fully paralyzed, that's even better. At this point, I just kill it, keep my 1 layer of spikes up. Obviously, more spikes would be better, but I'm just going to Ice Beam and kill the Braviary. Get rid of the removal, keep my spikes up, and be faster than everything but Meowscarada and Lycanroc. That is crazy damage. I mean, Tinted Lens is a really common ability on this, which is why I wasn't necessarily expecting Sheer Force. But Sheer Force Life Orb Hurricane does a lot more damage than initially expected. Even that's modest too. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Modest Sheer Force Life Orb Hurricane. What a set. With the defog. Finally brings it. Switches out. Preserving this. Gives me a chance to go for a free second layer of spikes if I want it. Or a taunt here to stop them from going for anything too fancy. I could also Thunder Wave this. Just to get this paralyzed. I think I'm going to taunt. If it means that I don't get another layer of spikes and you just U-turn, that's fine. Or I could just set up a second layer of spikes here. Braviary's dead whenever I want it to be. I'm just going to set up a second layer of spikes. If you set up rocks, you set up rocks. It's, you know, better for me to have hazards than you. And I actually get all 3 layers if you choose to do anything other than attack me. So I assume you're going to attack here. The light screen. Goes for a light screen. Okay. At this point, taunt might be better than spikes. Maybe? Or maybe I just set the 3rd layer of spikes and call it good. I think I'm just going to set the 3rd layer of spikes and call it good. I'm not sure if taunt is necessary. Like, yes, screens, they're annoying. Encore. Okay. But that's a turn of screens. I could just go into Garchomp, or I could just go into Zapdos here. Zapdos feels... I mean, you're going to U-turn, right? Do I just... Do I sack Mew? Or do I just go Zapdos? What are you going to go into if I go Zapdos? Clodsire. What about you going to go into if I go Garchomp? Lycanroc? Garchomp. Lycanroc Dusk. Shouldn't kill me with Play Rough, right? It doesn't kill. Banded doesn't kill. Alright, we're gonna go Garchomp. Banded Play Rough from Lycanroc does not kill Garchomp. You can't T-Wave this. You won't. You're probably gonna Reflect, I would assume. Yeah. So this is a free Rocks, but you might Encore that, so I could just Crunch. Crunch seems the safest. We're just going to Crunch here. I'm not going to set up Rocks at this moment when there's an Encore Uxie on the field. You're probably going to Encore anyway. I could have switched there. Foul play. That's the one move. Okay. But I'm going to show very defensive. The Uxie also outsped me, which now he knows that's the case. Do I Stealth Rock and switch? I think I Stealth Rock and switch. Well, if Uxie stays in, it's just stalling out extra turns of screens. Switches out, and then I get Rocks up. So now I have 3 layers of spikes and Rocks for the rest of the game. If it's Braviary, I'm going to outspeed that. And I'm just going to be able to kill it on the next turn. So this is just the free Rocks. Completely free. And we are going to be able to go for a Crunch here. Take out the Braviary. That is the only form of removal. So hazards are up. Garchomp kills Braviary H with Crunch. And it could be Clodsire. It could be Lycanroc. It could be Meowscarada, right? All of those are super reasonable. But I don't think Meowscarada, even with a Play Rough, kills me here. Banded Play Rough can kill from this range. It's not a guarantee, but it can. I'm going to go for Fling here. I'm going to get rid of my Light Ball. It could go for Knockoff. I should have thought about that. That was really silly. But we're going to Ruskin. It's Protective Pads. Okay. But Fling didn't work. No, my tech. Should have thought about Knockoff. That's okay. I don't really lose a ton by that. I'm just going to go Mew, I think, and sack that. Although Mew has a pretty good speed tier and does more to things like Uxie. No, it doesn't. It doesn't do more to Uxie. It just outspeeds Uxie, which is fine. All right, we're just going to sack Mew here, not Garchomp. And then we're going to get a safer switch into something else against the Meowscarada. From that roll to Garchomp, it's really... I don't remember if that was a crit or not. I think it's banded, though. No, it's Protective Pads. Duh. And I actually should have been checking more for Protean too, but I'm just gonna sack Mew. That's fine. I end up with Switch Initiative here, so Meowscarada kills Mew with U-turn. I do end up with Switch Initiative, getting a sense of what you're going to go into and how I should respond. I should have just sacked Mew to the knockoff and kept Garchomp healthier with Fling for Lycanroc or Dragonite. That was absolutely the right play, but can't cry over spilled milk here. It was a silly tech. It didn't work. You just gotta move on. Dragonite is what's gonna come in here. Light Screen's gone, but Reflect is still up. Now this is Terra Normal. And if it Terra Normals and Dragon Dances, we could be in trouble. As a result, the thing I want to go into is Leafeon or Zapdos. And Zapdos can Thunder Wave it. Or click Discharge on the first one. Leafeon can body slam. I think Zapdos is going to be my better play here. It's less suspicious, right? If I go Leafeon on a Dragonite, that's super suspicious. This can force you out. Thunderwave, revealing Thunderwave's a lot for when the Clodsire inevitably comes in against this, so I think I'd rather just click Discharge to get guaranteed damage on the Dragonite, or if the Clodsire does come in, I don't reveal that I have Thunderwave. Because Clodsire could obviously come in against my Zapdos, but I just go into Garchomp on that point. Although EQ is not quite free yet. But if it Dragon Dances here, Discharge gets rid of the Multiscale, has a chance to para, eat a Lumberry, and then I can T-Wave the next turn, as opposed to T-Waving where I don't get the Multiscale broken, which is arguably much more important. Switches out. Probably going to go Clodsire here. That's not super surprising. Yeah. So I could have read that, but it wasn't worth it because it's going to take a ton of Spikes damage. It's going to take Rocks damage. It's going to have to recover at some point. Discharge is just... Again, it reveals less information about my set. We're going to see Black Sludge on this. And I think at this point, I'm just going to go out into Garchomp. If something's gonna have to take a Toxic, that's the mon I want Toxic right now. We're still stalling out turns of Reflect. I think there's one more turn, and I think we have also confirmed that this is Light Clay Uxie. So I do wish I had taunted with the Mew earlier. That way Uxie would not have been able to get off a Light Screen and Reflect. That said, those are not going to end up mattering all that much in the long run of this game. And I do know that my Ceruledge beats Clodsire 1v1. Because I have Taunt and can shut that down. And right now, because I can Terra, I'm not weak to Earthquake. That may change if I ever choose to Terra the Leafeon, though. We're going to go Garchomp here. If something's going to get Toxic, it's going to be this, but you're going to go for the Recover. Reflect wears off. I could Earthquake. But I have a feeling Uxie or Dragonite's going to come in. But that's so obvious that I feel like Earthquake might actually be better. Because they might actually be tempted not to come in because Crunch is so obvious. But they can live a Crunch. I'm just going to Crunch. Again, if it Toxics and does whatever, fine. You got me. You Toxic them on that I'm pretty okay with sacking at this point. I can't even Oko a Clodsire from full if it's specially defensive with Earthquake. So I'll Crunch on the first turn. I'll even Crunch on the second turn. And if you really are choosing to stay in and going for a Recover and just like truly trying to stall me out, then I'll maybe Earthquake at some point. But even then, you know, Crunch is doing a good 25 to 28%. It's getting a chance to lower defense. It's hitting everything on the switch in. So Dragonite, which we know is Boots actually. And if Uxie comes in here, Meowscarada comes in, that's going to take huge damage from Spikes, from Rocks, from Crunch. And we know it's Protective Pads, but it cannot switch in again. This is its last chance on the battlefield to do anything. It is probably going to go for a knockoff, but it might Flower Trick. It doesn't look like my opponent is trying to set hazards, and so I'm just going to go into Zapdos. If I lose my Boots, that is okay. Garchomp is a great answer to Clodsire to keep that thing from doing anything super shady, and it's a great Toxic Amon to let get Toxic. There's Flower Trick, which is why I wanted to go into this, because no sense losing Amon for no value. And now I can potentially Discharge. Clodsire could come in on that, but it kills this. There's the knockoff. Yeah, that's fine. So we're just going to Discharge. Meowscarada's going to go down. That's a huge, huge threat out of my way. That is the fastest. Now Greninja's the fastest thing on the field. Lycanroc Dusk is a problem, certainly. But I do still have Thunder Wave on this. so it can't come in easily on that. And I have Leafeon that can take a hit from the Lycanroc still at full. So I do have answers to Lycanroc at this time. I am not out of the game yet. Choice Banded, Stone Edge to Leafeon. Why does... Oh, because it's not Tough Claws boosted, right? I was like, why does Close Combat do more? So Close Combat from Lycanroc does not Oko a Leafeon. Whether I Terra Water or not, Terra Water just kills it. Otherwise, Trailblaze would let me outspeed it. And then I can go for another one and outspeed everything, or I can Terra Blast later. So Leafeon looking okay in this position. Obviously, maybe would have been better there for me to go for a Roost first so I don't take as much damage from the knockoff. Lycanroc just going to come straight in here. It's going to take Spikes. It's going to take Rocks. I'm going to let my Zapdos go down because there's no need to preserve it at this point. Unless it's better to let Garchomp go down. Actually, it's way better to let Garchomp go down. Because I have Static. And Static is way more important than Rough Skin against the Dragonite. Now, this could Swords Dance, I guess. So maybe I should have just attacked it, but it's going for Rock Blast. I don't even know if that's going to kill. Rock Blast? Loaded Dice Rock Blast? Question mark? You gonna go for it again? I'm just gonna Earthquake, I think, this time. I could just Crunch, but I don't want it to Swords Dance, so I have to Earthquake. This time I have to Earthquake. There's Play Rough. And Rough Skin's gonna hurt it, so Lycanroc Dusk kills Garchomp with Play Rough. I guess Rock Blast is more accurate. So I could go Leafeon here. Loaded Dice Rock Blast does some damage, certainly. I could go Greninja here. Accelerock's not really threatening me, and it is a chance to fire off. What do you have left? Uxie, Clodsire, and this. So Clodsire probably comes in. You're just out of Dark Pulse range right now, but I think I'm still going to go Greninja. I threaten all sorts of things with this. I'm also not choiced into anything, I'm just Expert Belt, so... Yeah, you're just out of Dark Pulse range and out of Ice Beam range, so I'd have to go for a Water Shuriken, which I could do. I mean, there's no downside. Like, Uxie, whatever, Clodsire, whatever, right? Even if it's Water Absorbed Clodsire, like, whatever. I might as well get a kill on Lycanroc. If I can, and then get the Bottle Bond, and then just go for Ice Beams against the Clodsire. But I can't risk this thing not dying. And if Clodsire is unaware, then 3 layers of Spikes plus Rocks. Okay, it does stay in. Wow, okay, cool. That's huge. Okay. So Greninja kills Lycanroc Dusk with Water Shuriken. And I'm assuming that you're unaware Clodsire at this point, just because of the way that you didn't go into it there. But Ice Beam can potentially 2-hit KO. I mean, I think I just spam it though, right? Like, I don't really gain anything by not just spamming it. And if you aren't unaware, if you happen to be Water Absorbed, then Ice Beam for sure kills. And that also is if you're fully specially defensive. So yeah, I'm definitely going to click Ice Beam and get a Scout on your set. Because for Water Shuriken to do more than Ice Beam, I would need to get at least 4 hits, and I don't trust it. Okay, given that Dragonite came in, it's going to be Terra Normal. It's going to go for an Extreme Speed. That's going to happen. I think I just go for a Dark Pulse. I don't even think I bother with Ice Beam at this point. It could even Dragon Dance here. But I don't know why it would. I'm just going to Dark Pulse. It's the best move to click. And it could flinch if it doesn't E-Speed. Yeah. There's an Extreme Speed. So we're living 1. We're breaking scale. Greninja's gonna go down, but like I said, Greninja was a breaker, not a sweeper. And it's not worth saving here. So I'm just gonna Dark Pulse again. Water Shuriken doesn't have to prioritize extreme speed. I'm not going into Ceruledge there. So Dragonite kills Greninja with extreme speed. I could have done it on the first one maybe, but that just seems incredibly bold. Since I knew it didn't kill with one of them. Earthquake also just straight up kills the Ceruledge, so I want to go into Leafeon. And I want to Terra, I think. Do I want to Terra? I think I want to Terra because you could go for a flying move. And then I just want to Terra Blast, right? Trailblaze is not necessary because I outspeed you already. So yeah, I'm just going to Terra Blast. Ceruledge can win a 1v1 against Clodsire. I don't actually know if it wins the 1v1 against Yuxi because of foul play. I don't think it does. Switches out. Yuxi? Okay. I definitely outspeed you. Well, not definitely, but I am running 1 point off of max speed Adamant, so unless you're running like max speed Timid, which would be kind of wild, I should outspeed you. Oh, I really hope I outspeed you. I think I Trailblaze here, to be honest. That way I just... It does get up a Reflect, okay, but it didn't foul play. That's annoying, but not the end of the world. That didn't kill, but it's fine, because now I outspeed you, so... I guess I could just... There's no reason not to go for another... I might as well just Terra Blast here. Yeah, I'll just Terra Blast here. There's... It doesn't make a difference. It actually stalls out an extra turn of Reflect, which is fine by me. So Leafeon kills Yuxi with Terra Blast. Oh, I didn't write down that drag. Oh, I did write that down. Okay. So there's 2 Mons left per team here. Did I miss a kill? I missed a kill. What got a kill? Lycanroc, Dust killed Garchomp, Meowscarada killed Mew. What killed Zapdos? Do I still have Zapdos? Do I still have Zapdos? I might still have Zapdos. So Dragonite comes back in now. I think I Body Slam, which does the same amount as Terra Blast, really. And has the chance to Para, which is kind of nice. Well, no, Terra Blast actually does a little bit more, but with the Reflect up, it's not going to make a major difference. And there's the Para. Okay. There's the Dragon Dance. So now the Reflect is going to be interesting. Because our Mirror Herb is going to pop. And I should live 1 Extreme Speed from full, even at +1. So now we just Terra Blast into a Reflect. I could Bite. Nah, we're gonna Terra Blast. We're gonna Terra Blast. What am I doing? Just gonna Terra Blast. Yeah, Terra Blast. Full Para. Terra Blast. Extreme Speed comes out. Gonna live 1. Just 1, though. But even with Reflect up, That should be in range of Bitterblade. So I'd rather let Leafeon go down. I do still have Zapdos, by the way. I'd rather let Leafeon go down, go into Ceruledge, click Bitterblade, kill this. How many turns are left of? Not that. Still a bunch. It looks like Terra Normal should still die to Bitterblade. I could also go Zap... No, going Zapdos doesn't do anything. I just need a full para at some point. If it gets a full para here, ideal. Ideal. But Ceruledge is immune to extreme speed. It's going to outspeed. It's max attack. Bitterblade, according to this, should do 23 to 27%. Which is very, very tight. So Dragonite kills Leafeon with extreme speed. Ceruledge is going to be able to come out here. It's going to click Bitterblade, because I don't have close combat. And I don't know how much bulk this has. Not enough. Okay, not enough is a really important word for me to say there. Ceruledge kills Dragonite with Bitterblade. The problem is I can't Terra this. And so Clodsire does have access to Earthquake. That does a hefty amount of damage. Reflect is still up. I do have the ability to go into Zapdos here, so that I can stall out the rest of the Reflect without losing a ton of HP on the Ceruledge. This thing I think is going to try to recover first, though. So I'm going to taunt first. Then I'm going to go Zapdos. If it goes for an Earthquake, so be it. Depending on its investment, Zapdos should be able to eventually stall it out, but we're going to taunt it for now to stop the recover. Just go straight Earthquake. Damn it. That's huge. That's huge. Alright, and this is the last turn of Reflect. Oh, there's the Reflect gone. Okay, so now that's gone. I should have just switched to Zapdos there. Reflect is gone. I don't recover enough to live another Earthquake. But it is taunted. I'm just gonna Bitterblade. I'm just gonna Bitterblade. If they go for a Poison Jab and overpredict, that's huge. But I don't think they will. I don't see why they would. If I'd just gone for Zapdos there, I would have won this game. There's another Earthquake. It's not over, but Ceruledge going down hurts. So Clodsire kills Ceruledge with Earthquake. It's taunted right now. So I'm going to go for a Hurricane first in the hope it doesn't have Poison Jab. Because I need to be able to kill it before it gets off a recover. Because once it starts recovering, I think this game is over. I don't have enough Hurricanes to outpace it. But if I can land 2 Hurricanes, that should kill it. This comes down to me landing 2 Hurricanes. At the end of the GBA semifinals, it is Clodsire versus Zapdos, and all it needs to do is land 2 Hurricanes. It does have Poison Jab. That doesn't kill. No poison. Taunt's gonna wear off here. So it comes down to this. I click Hurricane every time. I don't click Roost. There's no reason to. I lose the battle if he starts recovering anyway. And we land the Hurricane. Take out the Clodsire. And Zapdos finishes what it started at the beginning of the season. I was joking earlier in the season that every battle I bring Zapdos to, I win. Every battle I don't bring Zapdos to, I lose. I wrote Zapdos kills Hurricane with Hurricane on my notes. Zapdos does what it's supposed to do and wins. That's all that Zapdos knows how to do this season. Oh my god. I can't believe I almost threw by letting Ceruledge take the Earthquake. There's no reason to do that. I literally just go Zapdos. Yes, it can recover. That's fine. We saw how much the Bitter Blade did. All I have to do is just click Bitter Blade twice once the recover is, or once the thing is gone, the Reflect, and it's going to do plenty of damage. It has to spam Recover in order to beat me. But, you know, we took the for sure route. Landing 2 Hurricanes to win a game, win a semifinal. We took the sure thing. Got the W here. But that's one more battle for me to do. Thank you all so much for watching. The New York Empoleon are going to the finals of the GBA Season 10. I did not expect this. We may have squeaked our way in off of a tiebreaker as the 6th seed, but once you make it to playoffs, it's back to zeros. Thank you all so much for watching. One more battle. That's all it's going to take to be crowned the GBA Season 10 champion. Take care, everybody.